Hello, today I have Jessica with me. Hi Jessica, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name's Jessica Ames. I write MC romance and I'm currently moving into mafia romance as well, under two pen names. So I do it under Jessica Ames and I do it under Amy Thorne. I live in the Midlands. It's very windy today, which is fun. And I have a little dog who you may see sort of pottering around in the background. And that's pretty much me. I like writing bad boys and lots of torture. Torture is my thing.
Did you always know that you wanted to be a writer?
Oh yeah, since like the time I was very little, I've always written in some form. So I basically penned my first book when I was about 11 years old. And I used to write a lot of fan fiction back in the days. Like I wanted, like the stories never seemed like they were completed enough, or they never went the way I wanted them to go. So I started writing those kinds of books, and then over the years it's kind of evolved into other things. And somehow or other I fell into romance, and I've not been able to get back out since.
And what made you decide to publish when you started writing romance?
Basically, I was working in a job that was absolutely soul sucking. Like I'd gone from job to job to job that I absolutely just despised. And like there were nice things about the jobs, but like they were just, it was always like I'd always done jobs where I was writing, but I was writing for other people. So I was writing on topics that didn't necessarily interest me, or things that I wasn't really particularly bothered about writing about. And I had one day at work where I just literally was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Like I want to do what I want to do. And so I went home and had a really big heart to heart with my parents, like, oh my God, I'm having a midlife crisis. Like I hate my job. I hate my life. Everything just sucks so bad. And my mum actually sat down with me and she was like, well, if you could do anything, what would you do? And I was like, well, I'd write books. That's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to write books in some form. I've always been writing stories all the way through my entire life. I've always written in some form. And she's like, well, go do it. And I was like, and that almost gave me the permission, because when you think of writing and stuff, like you don't really think of it as a career. Like even though I worked in publishing for a long time before I actually did this, it just never seemed like a viable option as something to do. And then it, like, I don't know, like after I spoke to my mum, it was like, well, yeah, actually I could do this. And then I did a lot of research into how the market worked, how to do it, how to actually get set up and everything. Still made a ton of mistakes, even though I did all that research. And I literally went in the next day and quit my job. I was like, yeah, I'm not coming back. I'm going to go off and write books like some airy fairy like lunatic. I quit a very nice cushy job to go and write smut for a living. And I think my boss thought I was absolutely off my rocker. But proof's in the pudding, because here I am, and I'm writing full time and absolutely loving life. I don't have any stress that I had when I was working full time, and things are just so much better. Like writing and doing my passion has enabled me to have the kind of life that I wanted. So
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the dream of many, I imagine.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, it's been hard. Like when I first started out, I moved back in with my parents because I couldn't afford to do it on my own. I lived in a caravan on their driveway for 4 years while I was getting set up. They basically lent me a ton of money to get started up, into, like, I owe them so much, like I can't even repay what I owe them. So it wasn't an easy path by any means, but it has paid off now, like, so worth the sacrifices.
So why MC romance of all the subgenres, I guess, of romance? Why that one?
When I first started reading romance, I actually started with historical romance, like, and I don't know if you've actually read much historical romance, but they're all very alpha, hit you on the head, drag you back to my castle kind of men. And I was really like, I really loved that. I loved that domineering, over the top ridiculousness of these heroes who, you know, were getting their woman no matter what. And so like I was looking around for more things to read at the time, and I stumbled across an MC story. And I was like, oh, I've never read this before, so I'll give this a go. And as soon as I read it, I was just completely in love with that genre. I was like, yep, this is home. This is where I belong. And pretty much like, even I go off and write other little bits and bobs here and there. Like, you know, I do my mafia stuff, but mafias, again, it's, you know, it's all alpha, hit you over the head kind of men anyway. But like I've written a couple of contemporaries and some romantic suspense, but I always come back to the MC. Like the MC is where I just like it, because I feel like I can be a bit more risky than I can in my contemporary. Like I definitely couldn't write what I write in my MC in my contemporary, because people would have a heart attack. So I do like that I get to explore different things, and I like the emotional depth of MC, like, because it's always two people who are very different trying to come together, who, you know, one's a bit morally ambiguous and you're not really sure whether you should be rooting for him, but you end up rooting for him anyway. And I really like the dynamic, and plus the whole, you know, hit you over the head and take you back to your cave kind of thing, that just really appeals.
How many books have you written so far?
So I think I've actually lost count. I've published over 20. I can't tell you exactly how many. I think it's about 23, 24, but I've actually written 30 plus. So I've got quite a few sitting on the back burner waiting to come out. But like I really can't believe I've written that many books, because I only started in 2018 and it was the middle of 2018. I didn't publish my first book till June. And it's just been like non-stop writing for like the best part. I mean, lockdown really helped, because during lockdown I wrote so much because I couldn't go anywhere or do anything. So that was quite good for productivity, even if it wasn't good for everything else. But yeah, like I probably write about maybe 10 books a year. So it keeps me busy.
Do you have a favorite character?
I can't, like, that's unfair to ask. It's like picking between your favorite children. I like different characters when I'm, well, no, I don't even like them when I write them, because they're so stubborn and so annoying sometimes. I like them afterwards, when I can step back and say, okay, it's done, it's where it's supposed to be. But I like every character for different reasons. Probably my most favorite book to write would be God, I can't even pick. I think probably Ravage, because he was the first time that I was at that, because my first series that I wrote was quite mellow, like for MC, like it wasn't very dark, it wasn't particularly problematic in the way the characters were together. It was quite easy, it was quite nice. So when I wrote Ravage, I just let go completely. Like I just went off the deep end, and it was nice to be able to just let go and to have that freedom to explore different things and darker themes. And so probably if you made me pick, I would probably pick him, because he was the first one where I really felt like I found my stride with my writing.
It wasn't that hard, was it?
Yeah, but you made me pick and I didn't want to pick.
Do you hide secret jokes or messages in your books that only a few people would understand?
I wish I was that smart. No, I don't think about anything like that. Although my editor often points things out to me and she's like, oh, I love the way this like identifies that. And I'm like, I just wrote it. Like there was no secret meaning. It was just fluke of what came out of my head at the time. There are definitely no secret meanings in any of my books. Although my books do all sort of exist in the same universe. So you might see characters from like my Saxon series have a little cameo in my Son's series. So like they're not all closed worlds, they're all very open.
And do people want to be characters in your books? Do your friends and family?
I think well, my family don't read it because I think I'd scar them for lives. My friends do, which mortifies me. Like literally, I do not want to know that they're reading my books. But I think one of my really good friends, one of my best friends, she, I think, would love to be pretty much all of the female characters in any of my books. I think she's living vicariously through my writing. I think I probably live vicariously through my writing as well, to be honest.
Yeah, well, why not? It's safer that way, I think.
It's so, I don't know whether you could hear it. It's so windy here.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, luckily we've got rain, but no wind at the minute. So
it's like blowing a gale. Like, because I've got my microphone, like I've got like a big industrial sized microphone because I use it for dictating. Like, every now and again, I keep getting the feedback of the wind.
Yeah, it's quite scary. Yeah. So will Tales on Trent be your first sign-in event?
It's actually my second, but it's my second in Stoke-on-Trent because my first one was also in Stoke-on-Trent. So I've just done a tour of my hometown, really, because that's where I'm from. So I was very excited to be able to go back to Stoke because I know the area. I know like a lot of people in Stoke. It's nice to be in familiar territory. I knew my dog wouldn't be quiet for long. Yeah, so it's nice to be going back to to my, well, not going back to my hometown because I live here obviously, but like to go to my hometown. But I'm a bit nervous because, like I said, it's only my second signing, so I know what to expect, but these things are always a little bit different, I think, everyone you go to. And but I think it'd be quite nice because it's multi-genre, so I'm hoping I can find a couple of new authors myself.
And are there any authors there that you're particularly looking forward to meeting?
I can't wait to meet LG Campbell. She's actually coming to stay at my house. So we're gonna conference it together on the day. So we'll probably get up to loads of mayhem. Just warning you now.
That's fine. Trust me, some of the guys already we're dreading. We're keeping them miles apart because they're just going to be mischief.
I think we'll be like the naughty kids at school, like, because we've never met each other before either. Like, we talk to each other quite a lot, and we're good friends, but like we've never actually met in person. So I think there'll be a lot of shrieking. Although we're going to meet on the Friday, you lot won't have to witness our shrieking.
It's fine. I mean, I'll be meeting loads of people for the first time and shrieking, hugging. It's literally, that's all that's going to be happening.
I know. I'm very excited to get back to signings because, like, I was supposed to have a lot of signings in 2020, and then obviously COVID happened and they all got moved around. And instead of having like one conference, one event, one signing event in the year, I've now got 3 in 1 year. So I think it's going to be a very busy year.
It keeps you out of mischief.
It does. I kind of consider them like our work outings because, like, as an author, we don't really get out much, like for sort of work related things. So it's kind of day out.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, actually. I think I'm going to 5
oh wow
events next year. Yeah, so yeah.
Are they all romancy based ones or are they all different genres?
They're mostly crime, actually, I think. They're 2 multi-genres and 3 crime. So yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, weird mixture of, and they're all over the country. So
it's good though, like it gives you other places to explore. Like, I'm probably wouldn't think to come to Stoke-on-Trent like for a day out or whatever. So it's like, and I've got a couple in like really random places as well that like I probably would never have visited. So I think it's nice to just get sort of out and about and see different people and meet readers and meet other authors.
Should be loads of fun.
Yeah, especially as well, like I can't remember whether this has an after party, but like if they have after parties, they're always, at least the one at Stoke was a riot. So I'm looking forward to that, especially the bar.
Oh yes, there will be, and yes, it will be. We keep threatening to give Claire gin because apparently she turns into a different person. It's like, I'm not having gin, but you will have gin.
Okay, let's all sneak her gin then.
Yes. Bless her. But well, I don't have any more questions for you at the moment, so I shall leave you to take over our page and see what you get up to, and we shall look forward to seeing you next year.
And I look forward to seeing everyone as well. And give everyone big squishy hugs, because I feel like it's been so long since we've been allowed to give squishy hugs.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.